All right. Oh, I got to stop the music. There we go. Welcome, everyone, to Pine Grove News Live. God bless everyone. It's Friday. It's Friday. And, thank God. Rough week. Kind of started my new position a little early. Yeah, they just been testing me pretty good. You get into trying to get some work done, excuse me, and then you get pulled off to go talk to an older gentleman who's can't reach his switch on his lamp and wants me to come up with a way that he can turn it on without reaching back so far. So kind of things like that, or changing somebody's TV out, or stuff like that. That's the maintenance aspect of it. So far, it's been pretty good. I mean, I was a little bit stressed out, the first couple of days, because it just was. It's something that I didn't want to be that. I don't know, that busy, I guess, because I was enjoying the painting. I was not bothered. I was set off. I could go into a room and spend 2 days there and listen to sermons and worship music and just, just a way to do work and be able to still learn at the same time. But the other new job aspect to it is, at least for the first couple of days, was very hectic. Didn't have any time to even push a button on my phone to listen to anything. So, it's all good now because I prayed about it. I've talked to a couple people and basically, just asked the Lord for calm, for patience. And, when it comes down to it, my primary job is painting unless there's an emergency. And then the rest, I get called, I go. I stop painting, and they all know. There's nothing else that I have any control over whatsoever. I mean, I should know this already, right? Because the Lord, He is in control of everything. I'm in control of nothing. So that's what it comes down to, kind of have to slap yourself in the head like like a V8 moment. So in any case, it's back down to I'm calmed down now. I just came to that realization that there's nothing I can do, nothing that I want to do to try to control anything. I expressed that to the two bosses of the many that are over me that, if you pull me off something, I'm not going to get this done. So as long as they know that, and I know that, that's that. That's that. I'm going to have to put in more hours. It's not many more, but it's all good now. Come January 1st, when it becomes official, I will be ready. The Lord will make me ready. Because if it was up to me, I wouldn't work at all. I'd stay home. I'd study all the time. I'd perfect some videos maybe, but I don't really want to work. Who wants to work, really? I know some people want. I mean, when I was out of work for 5 years, yeah, I wanted to go back to work. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you always complain, right? I'm always complaining about something. Isn't that the case with a lot of people? You complain about something, then you get it all set and straight, and it's just the way you want it, and then you start complaining about something else. I mean, we really do. It's too bad. But we're all a work in progress. I am for sure. And God bless, Hen. Good to see you. Hope everything's going all right with you and your mom. So enough of my, complaining, I guess. And actually, yeah, I'm I can, it's complaining, but I don't know. It's all. I'm still learning. And, I'm 60 years old now, and I'm still learning. That's one thing I've always, spoke to the Lord about. Good. That's good. Glad to hear that, Hen. Or Laura. I don't know what you want me to call you, when we're on air. I can call you Hen if you want to keep it that way. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure that I'm not saying something that you don't want me to say. Some people just, I mean, everybody these days, I mean, with all this, the equipment in your house, the 4K, the smart, whatever, refrigerator, stove, everybody knows what the heck you're saying anyway. Well, so everybody will, somebody's collecting it, and eventually they will. But anyway, yeah, that's what I've come to the conclusion too. And no worries. No worries. And when I came to that revelation, I guess, today, just about an hour and a half before I left, I just had a big smile on my face and just walking out the door. Yeah, it's all good. All I know is that I'm still working, I'm still paying the bills, and I can do other things too, Lord willing. So, I guess I'll go to Shepherd's, I don't know, later tomorrow. I got to go but I want to, when I sent out the Christmas cards to a few people, I am so glad that I did that, because heard from people I haven't heard from in a long time. I heard from Troy, and he gave me his number to call him. I heard from Patty. She's in Colorado, I guess, and she said she's doing okay, and I talked to her on the phone. Nancy, Heavenbound 006. Unfortunately, she's still homeless. That's what she says anyway. And I just want to make sure that we get prayers out for her. Whatever the Lord's will be done in that situation and with her. But extra prayers for everyone. I mean, the homeless. There really shouldn't be anybody homeless. I mean, right? I mean, the Lord said that we'll always have the poor. Doesn't mean they have to be homeless. I mean, are we really going? I believe in the millennia, when that comes, if we see it, if I see it, I just hope and pray that it's, I would think that we wouldn't have the homeless. I just can't picture it. I'm sorry, I can't picture it. I know there's going to be people still that's, just crazy. And it's unbelievable that even when Jesus comes the second time and rules and reigns for 1,000 years, that there will still be people that will not believe and even hate Jesus in the flesh again, or spirit body, like we all will be. We know that angels, can manifest into spirit beings. But, I just believe, Jesus is going to rule and reign. It's going to be fair and kind of like paradise, right? Always, associated Jesus with paradise. Yeah, living forever, in his glory that surrounds us. I mean, so much so that we won't need, the sun to light the day or the moon to light the night. It'll be his glory that will be surrounding us, and we won't need those things. Now, when he rules and reigns on earth, I don't know if that'll be the case. I mean, I think it is. I mean, New Jerusalem, right? Coming down from heaven. it says that, that we won't need this light even while we're on Earth, in the city anyway, I guess. Yeah, and that happens all the time too. Oh, well, like Ken said, no worries. No worries. I just like to think about it. I mean, if we're going to be, distracted, if we're going to get that little relief from these apparently everyday woes that everyone's talking about, then it's better than watching TV. I mean, that's just still junk. Rather have the picture in my head of, the Lord here and walking and talking with us and us helping him, if we could, call it that. I mean, he'll be doing everything still then, right? But we are supposed to be ruling and reigning with him, so I don't know. I just like to think in those things. Sometimes people come up to you and say, well, it's not right. It's not good to think in those things. I mean, just like the universe, like the try, with all the numbers that they saying, or at least they're saying out there, I can see with my eyes anyway, of all the, universes, galaxies, not universes, galaxies, solar systems, planets, all the suns, especially the ones recently that came out about our own galaxy and what was at the middle of it. I mean, you see the multiple stars, and it just fascinates me. I don't know if it does with anybody else, but I've always been a stargazer. Just lay down out in summer night in August, just look up at the stars, laying down in the driveway, just, thinking about where those stars were and what they were and their movements, and it's just fascinating. I'm in total awe of it. That God would create all these things, and always think about for what purpose. Well, we'll find out. We certainly will. Something is going on. All right. Well, I had my machine freeze up for a second there. I wonder how long that was. All right. So let's go to this news. I guess we have to do the news. Let's see where to start. Well, we'll just start with the weekly volcanic activity report from December 11th to the 17th. Should be watching that because it's been a big uptick. All these volcanoes and new ones popping up all the time. So this new activity unrest was reported for 4 volcanoes from the 11th to the 17th. During the same period, ongoing activity was reported for 10 volcanoes. And they got to be, pretty small. Considering, in the past, one volcano can stunt the growth of the food crops and everything for a whole year. One volcano. So there you have it. Oh, let me check. I can go see if we're online. Give me 1 second. Yeah. We're on live at YouTube. It's up and running. Good. So, new activity unrest. We said there was 4. That is one's in Russia, Japan, and Semi-Sopatro. That's not a new one. I've heard of that one before because I couldn't pronounce that one before either. In the United States, and then White Island, of course, North Island, New Zealand, and then you have all the ongoing activity ones. There's 10 of those. So try to get you that once a week, Friday, if I can remember to get it. And had quite a bit of weather in the, I guess the South Midwest, and you know, anyways, this one from the Watchers, because we actually had a brother Jimmy, that over there that does a couple programs over at Shepherd's. I guess we weren't able to get in touch with him for a day or so. Apparently his power went out and drove a ways to stay with someone. That's the last news I got from them. And but he's all right. Everyone's all right. But there were other people that were obviously injured. 16 lives actually across the South and Midwest. Snow squalls barrel through the Northeast in the U.S. I mean, I don't know if that was the storms that were down there the other day. But there's a couple of videos in here that shows a lot of different states and the tornadoes. So these severe storms that were affecting the United States over the past couple of days claimed 16 lives as of Wednesday. On the 18th, 12 fatalities in the Midwest are blamed on the dangerous road conditions, while at least 4 died in tornado outbreak in the Deep South. Meanwhile, snow squall warnings were in effect through the Northeast. And we're finally, you know, past couple of days anyway, I mean, haven't had any real weather except for the temperatures. I mean, in the teens for the past couple of days. And single digits with wind chill, but apparently that's going to go away. Supposed to have had 30 degrees. And I don't know what the temperature is here at the moment, but we're supposed to get up to about 45 by Sunday, and that's just fine with me. I mean, 45 is good for winter, if I have to live here in winter. And at the moment, it's 24 degrees. 24 degrees in Enfield, Connecticut. Yeah, 31 tomorrow, 45 on Sunday. So they got film. I mean, video here. Like I said, this one's from Utah. Deadly whiteout conditions that happened the past few days. Columbia, Mississippi tornado, and it goes for what, 3.5 minutes, but the last minute and a half to 2 minutes, it's just dark. You can't really see much at all. A big, huge tornado that jumps a highway there. And Queens, New York, snow squalls. Pennsylvania, dangerous snow squalls. Let's see what else we got. This one is, I don't know if that's Twitter or what, but there's a video down here. You see this, you know, and I've had this happen to me before. You know, driving down the highway, the roads are covered with snow, and as long as you know, keep at a certain speed and just go straight, there's no problem, okay? But you always have these people who, oh, no, he's going too slow, I'm going to have to pass him. So, because usually there's only one lane during a snowstorm that is, you know, most driven, so it has the less snow on it. No, there's always people in a hurry, or there's people who just are frightened and shouldn't be on the road. But I've had this happen to me before. Not a tractor trailer, but I'm driving on the highway, minding my own business, and off to the left of me, in my peripheral vision, see this car just barreling through the snow, okay, out in front of me, and then next thing you know, he is swerving and turning into my lane, and what do? Well, there's really nothing you can do. Really, and that's probably what you should do. Nothing. Take your foot off the gas. Do not put the brake on. And this guy just goes right in front of my vision, right in my lane, and then off to the right into snowbanks. And it doesn't matter. I couldn't have stopped. There was other traffic, so if I would have stopped, they would have had to stop hard, and then I would have probably done the same thing. But this video, I'll show you right here. This guy, see, this truck gets pretty darn close. Tries to pass, tries to go too fast, and just swerves to the right, just like I was talking about. And this guy in this tractor trailer just flips over, goes off to the side. At least the guy stops and checks on him. Good Samaritan. All right. So let's just move on. I mean, we all know that Trump was impeached. It's kind of funny, but that was not my reaction when it first happened. I was so irritated. Yeah. Yeah. I mostly have peace about me all the time, no matter what happens. But for some reason, I was pretty much really irritated. I mean, I knew it was going to happen anyway. So whatever that was, I rebuked it because that's not me. Something else, is trying to get me to react in another way, and it's just not me anymore. Someone new. It's not who I am anymore. But it's just silly, because now, Trump wants Pelosi to bring it to the Senate and go through a legal proceedings, and I don't think that she's going to do it. As a matter of fact, I think she's trying to make amends already. I think it was all just a big power play, which should be, which should, I don't know, kind of bring can they all be impeached for doing that? Because they're doing the same thing that they accused the president of doing, rigging elections. I mean, that's what they're trying to do in dragging this thing out. And now they don't want to go ahead because they know that they have nothing, that there's no legal crimes that they can bring against them. Maybe if they dig far enough back into his past, maybe if when he was 9 years old or something, he might have pushed some other little boy out of the way and said that I'm king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. I'm the guy with the ball. Come get me. Whatever. That game we used to play. Kill the guy with the football. Anyways, that's what we did. One guy would get the football, and the other 20 people try to pile on top of him. They could never take me down, though. I actually had those 20 people on top of me, and I would not go down. Not right away, anyway. It took a while. But now, this is what I'm talking about. That President Trump's address could come during his still to be scheduled. So President Trump has accepted Speaker Pelosi's invitation to deliver the State of the Union on February 4th, 2020. Now, you remember when he was going to do the first State of the Union when he first became president. Pelosi didn't want to let him do that, at least in the House or something like that. I forget exactly details, but that was just crazy. I mean, the childish bickering, that these Democrats have, what they've been doing, tearing apart this country and using our tax dollars to do it. So anyways, February 4th, 2020, and Trump accepts. He will deliver the State of the Union address at that time. So far. It's crazy. Let's see what else we got. Jiu-Jitsu Watch versus Shift. And this is what Trump said he was going to do too. He's going to sue these people. He's going to have other people sue these people. So we sued Shift in federal court today for dox on his illicit subpoenas for phone records of President Trump's lawyer and other innocent Americans. I mean, you even had the FISA judge or whatever, however that works. You know that FISA court is a secret court and that it's also a foreign entity? I did not know that. I don't know why that is, but they accept it that way. Maybe, because they're not biased or something like that. That, in any case, you remember that rebuke that came out against the FBI and those agencies who, got these subpoenas on false premises, lying. So there's going to, the drama's not over, obviously. There's going to be a lot of people that, I think, Trump, I think, his time has come. He's fed up. He's done with this. Bring me to court. Let's get it done with. Let's get me, what do you call it? Clear his name. Forget the exact word, but in any case, yeah, you only go after somebody so much and not do things that you're supposed to be doing so many times, and not feel, some kind of or elicit some kind of reaction to it all. I mean, yeah, Trump has come out and said some things that he probably shouldn't have said, but I am surprised at his being able to hold back that much. A lot of people are. So, yes, we continue to pray for our leaders who seem to be lost. Well, Trump doesn't seem to be lost. And, they passed all those things that they were trying to work out 1 week prior to the week before or a week during the impeachment, the Mexico-Canadian deal, and a few other things. The $1 trillion spending bill, temporary one. Anyways, and also from Judicial Watch, this massive Clinton email hearing that was held yesterday, they say. 6 lawyers from the DOJ State Departments, plus 2 lawyers for Hillary Clinton, plus 2 lawyers for Clinton aide, versus 2 Judicial Watch lawyers. Astonishing tax money still being used to protect Clinton on her email misconduct. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing I've heard all the way through the impeachment was, nobody's above the law. Nobody is above the law. Nobody. But seems to be a lot of people that aren't, paying their due for what they've done. So, let me give you that update. Yeah, and this one, over at Natural News, okay? Mike Adams, yeah, he's another one that doesn't, he doesn't hold back the punches. And he gets in trouble for it, which, if you're going to be that bold, and I don't see why you can't be. Just speak your mind, speak the truth. Plain and simple. It's going to hurt somebody because they believe their lie. Yeah, keep your powder dry, says Mike. Fanatical Democrats have a plan to remove Trump and install Pelosi as president within weeks. Yeah, we've heard about a couple of these plans. One of them was to, once Trump was impeached or something like that and thrown out of office, Pence, vice president, becomes president. Then he appoints Trump as vice president. Then Vice President Pence quits, resigns, and then Trump becomes president again. Yeah, and this one, they're talking about Pelosi and Hillary being, having them replaced during this process somehow, some way with their twisted little minds. So President Trump has just been sort of impeached by a hyena pack of drooling, fanatical Democrats who couldn't even cite a single criminal violation in their wholly fabricated imaginary articles of impeachment. Yet they proceed with impeachment because they fear what Trump is about to uncover if he cannot be removed from office. What exactly will Trump expose if given enough time in office? Now, if you've been reading this website, Mike says, for at least a full year, you might be ready to hear the truth about how things really work in America. So consider the following. And I didn't realize it was going to be this long, but I'm just going to skim over it. How California Democrats are funded by drug cartels and receive kickbacks on drug trafficking revenues to keep the borders open. Yeah, that may be true. I can't, give you any fact checks right now or evidence of these things. So I'm just going to let you read it. I'm not going to read it anymore because I do not have the evidence. And he may have it. Mike may have it. He may even have it in this article. Rudy Giuliani has been uncovering a lot of these things while, he, like Trump, has been working, and the Democrats have been busy in their impeachment processes. But we've known that for a long time, that the government, if their war on drugs, is not the ones that we were told on TV. So I hope you remember that TV, we keep talking about it, TV is just a means of programming the masses. In news and weather and in everyday events, and everything is not what you think it is. And that's why we go to, outlets, other news media, sort them all out, use your discernment from the Holy Spirit to figure out which ones, that you can follow and which ones you can't. Nobody is 100% right. No, not one. So make sure you jump around. But in any case, we can spend hours going over this article and what he's talking about. Just with Biden and his son getting in office there, firing the prosecutor who was looking into his son's dealings over there. And you're talking about a big, corruption problem. You think that's bad here in this country? It was 10 times more, I guess, in that country. Wasn't it the president, the duly elected president, the last one anyway, before the one they have now, actually took off with all the money from Ukraine? I don't know for the exact amount, but it's got to be in the billions, if not trillions. Everything, and so why not? You're vice president. Anyways, I won't get into that. I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to let that play out in the days to come. We'll see what happens. All I know is it's not going to be good for this country. Because that all these money corrupts. Money brings, the power, and power just brings ugly things. People that yield it anyway. Yeah, so how the FBI is actual terrorist organization. Wow, and that really blows my mind, man. Do we have any of these organizations that are actually working for the people? Probably not. How the prominent lawyers in the Obama administration, including several GOP senators who ran interference for Obama, are on the take, skimming hundreds of millions of foreign aid funds. People, yeah. Right here, well, I just saw this date, 1933. No, that was something else. But you remember, one of our presidents, gave away this country, and I think it was during World War One, I think, or just shortly after, and signed us over to the Federal Reserve. Yeah, the banking cartels. Yeah, we got signed over to the Federal Reserve, okay, which is not a federal thing. It's just private banking, and we know that. Anyways, and we can go on and on and on about the history of this country, and you start backing away from the Lord, and he's going to start backing away his promises, his gifts, his blessings. So here's the other one that I got from Natural News. Do you believe me now? Democrats actively rolling out a scheme to remove the Vice President, Mike Pence, so they can install Nancy Pelosi, then Hillary Clinton as president. Yeah. I don't see how they can get Nancy Pelosi in as president. Somebody please tell me how that works. How once you get a vice president removed, the senior House Speaker or whatever she is now is able to take the role of vice president. And so anyways, and then, you know, with Trump being impeached, he gets removed. Nancy becomes president, and then she brings in Hillary Clinton as vice president, and then Nancy Pelosi, resigns, leaving Hillary Clinton as president. Another one of those little things, you know, that is pretty funny. It's funny. It's just funny because they said that, you know, in the beginning about, you know, Trump being impeached, and then Pence becoming president, and it goes that way, and then Trump ends up being president again. But anyways, these people, they have way too much time to think. I wish they really start doing their jobs. I wish we could really go and just, you know, pick this federal government apart, take these people who are, you know, go in as one term, you know, for whatever it is, representatives or what, and then they can leave and they still get paid for the rest of their lives. Somebody tell me whether that's true or not. I heard that it was, but I need more than that. You know, I'm going to have to go research something that I hate with a passion. Politics. I've been getting into it more and more, and I don't know. It's really just evil. Yeah, it is the kingpins, I don't know, the minions of the devil's workforce. That's what I believe. And if we could take that down, and heck, we can't take it down. The Lord will help us to take it down. The Holy Spirit will work through us and Jesus to take them down. However it works, you know, using, you know, men, women to facilitate these things, or do it, you know, supernaturally, whatever. Doesn't matter. He uses both. He has everything. He's made everything. He's done everything. I mean, everything's his. So he's in control of it. However he wants to do it, you know, I'm just more than willing to stand there and have input, whatever he wants in front of me, and direct me to where I need to go from there. I'll do it. Anything that he says, I will do it. And still trying to do that when it comes to, you know, to the gospel, to the Bible, and to follow that and do those things. And anyways, we could talk about that another time too, because I can go pretty deep into that about where I am, where you may be, where a lot of us are, or where we've been, and where we should be. And I talked about that a little bit with David Kane the other day. Went over to his Mixlr page and chatted just a second or two, and we talked about that. I said that people need to be made stronger, and of course, David said everybody needs to become weaker. And both things are correct. My stronger was, you know, they have to be stronger. And of course, we can't do it. The Lord does the work in us, okay? We don't do it because, you know, every time we do something, we mess it up. So that was a conversation the other day anyway. And yes, we are to become weaker too. I mean, we are to be meek, okay, and mild. But in other cases, we are to be strong and bold too. So, I mean, listening to the Holy Spirit and the scriptures and the word and, you know, the living waters, we should know the difference and where to apply each of them through the Holy Spirit. Spirit-led. I mean, that's, you know, that's my whole purpose from now on, of course, is to become more spiritual. I don't like the flesh, so I'm away from that. I mean, besides it, giving me a V8 moment from time to time, saying, "Whoa, hello, I'm still here. The flesh is still here. I'm reminding you." And so we all go through those things. I'd be so glad to be rid of this vessel. Yes, it would. So, anyways, that's that scenario. And then Trump blames a Christian magazine that called for his removal. Yeah, Christians really got to set themselves straight. I mean, they are definitely, they are coming out of their, sheepskin, and they are showing their wolf's teeth. Yep. So that's a good thing. Now we know. Yeah. And there's just, I just picked up a couple stories about people in our government that are being arrested for many things, for, trafficking counterfeit goods. They do just about everything. And a lot of it, has to do with this Epstein thing. This guy, mayor of Taylor, Michigan, indicted on federal charges. I mean, you're talking about, captains of police forces and SWAT teams being indicted for hundreds of cases of sex trafficking and other stuff. I mean, all these people who have these powerful positions that are all above us. Don't worry, folks. They're all falling apart. They're all being uncovered. So don't you worry. It is happening. They are being exposed. Yeah. Regardless of whether, the Democrats, think that everything's just flipped upside down. The Bible says that people are going to, go around with the thought of, evil things being good and good things being evil. And we're there, been there for a while. It's just going to get worse in a matter of degrees. Let's see, what else do we really want to talk about? Churches are breaking the law on purpose to shelter the homeless in Dallas this winter. Well, that's from the act of supposed. Good for them. I wonder how long that'll last. It's good to see that somebody is stepping up. We can pray for them, those churches that are taking in these homeless, even though it's in Dallas. I mean, it's everywhere, man. The homeless are growing, the poor are growing. The people in South Africa the famines are increasing. So many things. It's just getting worse, and we know that the times that we're in. And all this LGBTQ things. I mean, how many letters have they added to that? I mean, for Pete's sake. I should say for Peter's sake. Roland for defendant worker fired for saying men cannot change into women. This is the times we live in, people. This is it. Okay, and let's, here's one. Here's a good one, right? This is from End Time Headlines. Senior citizens banned from decorating homes with Christmas lights. No Christmas lights. No, guess what? No nativity scenes. Nothing. No lights, no decorations. Not even an inflatable Frosty the Snowman. Can't do it. No, not this year. Grandview Estates, which is a HUD-subsidized residential complex, warned residents if they violate the rules, they could face eviction. So you can't, right? But they were able to put out a wreath, but only if it was a holiday wreath and not a Christmas wreath. So, it's not just, God, Christ, that they're taking away and replacing with this Satanism. They're taking away Christmas, okay? Every aspect of God. You Kentucky Kentucky governor defends decision to pardon multiple convicted child rapists and murderers. It's happening everywhere. It won't be long before they actually make pedophilia legal. You watch. You don't think it can get worse? It can get much worse. And here's that one I was talking about. High-level police commander and wife indicted on 150 counts for child sex with whatever, man. Freaking, yeah, that's my swear word. It's either freaking or fracking. Do you ever see, what was it, Battlestar Galactica? You ever see that? I mean, that was their swearing, that they were using on that show. Because at that time, there was no swearing on TV. That wasn't done on TV. I mean, we're lucky if women on TV wore sleeveless shirts. They were, that wasn't allowed. I remember Dick Van Dyke and his wife, they couldn't sleep in the same bed. They had to have separate beds. That's what I grew up in, man. I mean, that's not normal, for a husband and wife, obviously, to sleep in two separate beds, but they didn't want to, have any of that in your head, whatever it would do to you, seeing a, husband and wife. Anyway. So, last story of the evening is this one from Breaking 911. Amazon cargo plane crashed, and the pilot's last words were revealed. So this National Transportation Safety Board opened the public docket Thursday as part of its ongoing investigation into the February 23rd, 19 Atlas Air Flight 3591 crash into the Trinity Bay in Texas. And there's a story that goes with it. And I'm obviously not going to read it because, I mean, it was an accident. They went up, they had problems, they went down. Well, what I want to, the last words. And then hopefully, I mean, is that going to be, I asked this question one time. Is there a time limit to being saved? I mean, in your last breath. It's your last breath. You're, for some reason, that it is for whatever reason, whether it be accident or illness or whatever. And that you have only moments left. And you've always been against God or haven't really entrusted yourself or, with God or just took him out of your life. Is there time to bring God back into your life? I mean, God knows your heart anyway. I mean, so whether you're trying to, deceive yourself or one last desperation to clear everything up that maybe you were wrong or something and wanted to get things right. Those very quick flashes of thought and other patterns. And then you come up and say, things like, I believe, can you be saved? If it's truly in your heart, of course you can be saved. Yeah, if you truly believe in your heart and you repent of what you may have done, the things that you should have done, yes, you can be saved. Of course you can. So, Pilot Sean Archula, Captain Ricky Blakely, and First Officer Conrad Jules Ashka were killed in this crash. And this is part of the cockpit conversation that went on just seconds before they went down. And the words are, "Where's my speed? My speed," Ashky said loudly. "We're stalling." Seconds later, Ashley said, "Oh Lord, have mercy on myself." Just seconds before the record recording ends, someone can be heard shouting, "Pull up!" And the final words heard from Ashley, "Lord, you have my soul." Sounds pretty genuine to me. Sure does. And at the bottom of this link, it says that you can read the entire cockpit recording if you want. But I think that in her desperate realization, she was not going to make it. And not just that. I think, everything flashes. People, tell you that before some. Anyways, I don't want to get into that because anyways, I truly believe that a soul was saved. Though they died in that crash, another soul was saved. And that's my belief. And I'm sticking to it. So with that, everyone, happy Sabbath Eve, Friday. Got the weekend off. I think I need it. Got to rest my feet. My little feetsies. Yeah. So everyone, got Christmas coming up. People seem to still be, but a little less, happier, cheerfully, more so, and more willing to talk about Jesus. So, good opportunity. Good opportunity. And that's the one thing I got out of these past few years of fighting people about celebrating Christmas Day and Christmas Mass at midnight or whatever it was and all these other things. The one thing to get out of that is exactly that. It's a great time to have a conversation about Jesus. So with that, everyone, God bless. Have a great weekend. Like always, I mean to come out on the weekends, but I just haven't been. I don't know why. We'll see what happens. I hope that I do, and anyways, keep your family close. Know where they are. Go look up an old friend. It's it'll be pretty rewarding. I believe that it will be. Has so far with me. God bless everyone, and peace out.